Hi guys! We are officially live. I don't know how many people are going to be watching this, but apparently I got 20 whole views on the short live stream test that I did yesterday, so if I can get 4 likes on that, I have high hopes for this. Today, I would like to officially introduce myself. I have been on YouTube for a year and a half, and my name is Juliana. And the name that my YouTube channel goes by is Mindless Humor. And funny story behind that, I will also be explaining that today. A lot of you said that you wanted me to change my channel name. I put up a poll. That is obviously a very big decision, and since I have almost 20,000 subscribers now, I kind of don't know if I want to do that. But anyway, it's going to stay Mindless Humor for now, because I kind of like the story behind that. The funny thing is that my dad actually named the channel. And that's because my very first video was a video of my cat, and it was hilarious because I used AI, an app called Dreamface. Yeah, I used Dreamface to make a video of Spot saying, "Hey kids." So my dad used the audio. You know what? I'm just gonna show you. I'm using my Apple right now for this because I could have used my my other computer to do this live stream, which is what I always use. But I decided to use the Apple so that I could show you some stuff because I don't want to do the whole split screen thing yet. But anyway, now I can show you stuff from this computer a little bit. I can give you tidbits of my work. It's not very functional, but so this was my very first video. If you scroll back to oldest in my shorts.
Hey kids, how you doing, kids?
And that stands at somewhere around 500 views, and it has 31 likes. So yeah, that was my first video, and I said, well, that's kind of mindless humor. Actually, my dad said it was mindless humor, and I thought, that's what I'll call my channel, Mindless Humor, because that is what cats basically are. Because cats are something you can watch and, like, not really even think about. Like, you can just space out and think about nothing, but cats are literally mindless humor. You don't have to think a single thing when you watch cat videos. It just kind of makes you happy. If you're a cat person. I am a cat person, huge cat person. But anyway, that is not what I'm focusing on today. I just wanted to give you that short introduction. But what I will be focusing on today is my story. Because as you all know, those of you who watch my shorts, I do a little bit of animation. And I have made some animated shorts of my OCs, aka original characters. And their names are Princess Powderpuff and Billy the Tabby Cat. And they stem from a story that I wrote, which I have now copyrighted, so I can share that story and their lore officially without being afraid of anyone stealing that, because I have the original text to that, the rights to those writings, to the book, even though it's not published yet. But I hope to publish that someday, and that's my goal. But anyway, today I want to share Billy the Tabby Cat and Princess Powderpuff with you, and the whole story behind the animations that you see. First, I'd like to show you a couple drawings of them, things that I've made. Let's see, this was all 2026. This is Princess Powderpuff. She is my pink cat OC. And this right here is Billy the Tabby Cat. This is both of them. They're supposed to be a couple. They're not officially a canon couple in my book as of the first story, but I really, really ship them. And in their alternate kind of universe that I have where I make animations, they're a couple, so that's what I have for them. And now I would like to read you the first chapter of the book I wrote about them, where it all began. Chapter 1, Billy meets Princess Powderpuff. Billy rolled over in his cat bed, tired and ready for breakfast. He yawned. I'm sick of tuna and kibble. Why don't I get table scraps anymore? He said to himself. Probably because you should go on a diet, his housemate, Bones the dog, said, coming over to him. Aw, shut up, Billy answered. I don't need to go on a diet. But you can hardly waddle from one place to the other, Bones answered. It'd probably be best if— Breakfast! Meredith, the lady of the house, called. Yes, Billy and Bones said at the same time. They simultaneously ran into the kitchen, Bones' claws scraping across the floor and Billy's collar jingling. But when Billy arrived at his bowl, he was met by the same kibble. While Bones devoured his food without complaint, Billy snubbed his breakfast and walked away. Fine, I'll diet, but I'll starve in the process, he said, sitting down on the kitchen mat. Then he looked towards the door. I'm going outside, Bones. Don't follow me. I don't feel like talking. Isn't that the point? Bones said. Well, suit yourself. I would eat your cat food for you so as not to waste it, but it gives me a stomach ache. Billy tried to get out the cat door, but he was so overweight that he became stuck. Refusing to ask for Bones' help, though he knew Bones was probably watching him and shaking his head in disappointment, Billy tried with all his might to get proper placement on the welcome mat outside the door, where his front feet rested, and the kitchen tile where his back feet were struggling to get a grip on the floor. Eventually, he tumbled out of the cat flap onto the porch, shook himself off, and then trudged into the garden, mumbling about how he still believed he did not need to go on a diet. The garden would have been small to any human being, but to a cat it was like a paradise. Well, a paradise if you liked bees and flowers. Billy did not particularly like the garden, due to its cheery, bright look, but he found that it was the only place he could be left alone when he wanted no one to bother him. Billy laid down in the grass in a patch of azalea bushes. That's when he noticed a new plant had been placed there. He knew it was not an azalea because azaleas are very distinct and quite deadly to cats, so he nibbled it to see how it tasted. Finding it quite delicious, he came to the conclusion that it must have been catnip, planted by Meredith for his enjoyment. He wanted to stop eating it, but he couldn't. He suddenly found himself extremely playful, rolling over and gripping the plant between his paws as he chewed on it. Ah, make it stop, he said, laughing. Make it stop! Billy looked behind him and saw something orange and furry twitching. Dropping the catnip, he thought that the strange creature looked more delicious than the plant he was eating. I'm gonna get you, Billy said, turning around to pounce on it. This went on for 10 minutes, but to his frustration, every time he moved, the creature seemed to run away out of sight. Finally giving up, Billy collapsed on the ground in a disappointed, tired heap and fell asleep. He was too out of it to realize that the creature he had been chasing was his tail. Billy woke up much later, not knowing exactly how much time had passed. He was his grumpy, unappreciative self again. He did not even bother looking for whatever strange plant he had just eaten. He simply got up and decided to take a walk down the block, once more grumbling to himself about everything under the sun. A few blocks down, Billy was stopped by a strange, squeaky, high-pitched voice. Excuse me, it said. Billy turned around and looked in every direction but saw no one. Esmeralda, is that you? Billy said, annoyed. He thought it was the chihuahua that liked to bug him every time he passed by the area. If you're trying to make me come to the fence again so that you can bark right in my face, it's not happening. No, I don't know an Esmeralda, but I'm not looking for trouble. I just want a little help, the voice said again. Well, you won't get any help from me, Billy said, walking onwards. Go away and help yourself, or look for someone else. Please, I promise it will only take a minute of your time, the voice pleaded. Billy frustratedly sighed and turned around. Okay, where are you? Over here, said the voice, under the big oak tree to your right. Billy walked over to the tree. The tiny creature that was beckoning for him to come over could have been mistaken for a walnut or an acorn at first glance, but Billy soon realized that it was nothing other than a bat. What are you doing out in the daytime? Billy asked. Aren't you supposed to be hiding in a cave somewhere? That's just a cliche, the bat answered. We come out during the day sometimes. Most of the time we're hiding in trees. Unfortunately, I fell out and hurt my wing. I need a ride to where I was trying to go. There's no way I'm carrying you on my back, Billy said. Oh, I didn't expect you to, the bat answered. You can carry me on your collar. No one will ever notice I'm there. I highly doubt that, Billy mumbled to himself, bending down so that the bat could latch on. Make it quick before I change my mind. Billy let the bat cling to his collar as she directed him where to go. They walked for what seemed like forever, and finally Billy started to get impatient. Are we coming close to your destination? He asked. We're here, the bat said. Billy looked around. Beside him was the same tree where he had found the bat. They were right back where they started. But we've gone nowhere, Billy said. You just led me in a giant circle. I know, the bat said. That was the point all along. You just wasted a huge chunk of my day, bat, Billy said, unhooking the bat from his collar and placing her on the ground. She had been lying. Her wing wasn't hurt. Billy had never seen a bat sit on what he supposed would call its haunches, but that's the position the bat took when he put her down. You're lucky I don't eat you right now. Give me one good reason why I shouldn't. For one thing, the last time you ate a living animal, you were a kitten, the bat answered. And for another, what else were you going to do with your time? Sit in the garden and slouch while complaining to yourself about how boring life is? The bat asked, putting her claws on her hips. And now, for a short intermission, there's actually an illustration that goes with this. I made this a long time. It's one of the drawings I plan on revising. I made this a while ago, like back when I wrote the book, which was a couple years ago. But this was the illustration for it. I plan on making it better because I did this before I had my Wacom animation tablet. As you can see, that's Billy right there, bending down, talking to the bat. And so we continue. How did you know that's what I do? Billy asked, trying not to show he was genuinely surprised. Because I'm no ordinary bat, the bat answered. My name is Princess Powderpuff, or as we should say in the animation that I did a couple years ago. My name is Princess Powderpuff, and I am an enchanted bat who is not really bad at all. I am a cat, just like you. Ha! That's a good one, Billy said. The day I see you turn into a cat is the day I start eating my dry food with pleasure. It very well may be, because that's exactly what I'm about to do, the bat, or so-called Princess Powderpuff, answered. Right before Billy's eyes, the tiny brown bat transformed into the most beautiful cat princess he had ever laid eyes on, and her fur was not just any color, but a brilliant hue of pink. He had never seen anything like her. Do you believe me now? Princess Powderpuff said to the shocked, open-mouthed, fat orange Tabby standing before her. I don't know if I can. You're a princess, and pink, and fluffy, Billy said, staring at her in awe. I know, and I'm flattered, Princess Powderpuff said. I came here looking for a noble soul who would be kind enough to give me a ride without wanting to eat me. You passed this test, so I have chosen you to go on a special mission to help me save my kingdom. I would be honored, Billy said, only half listening. Take me to your leader, or however that works. Close your eyes, Princess Powderpuff said. Billy closed his eyes. When he opened them, he was standing in front of a magnificent palace that looked a little like some of the cat house castles he had seen Meredith researching online from time to time, except it was about 3 times bigger and pink. I have a photo of that, too. That is right here. This is what I imagine Princess Powderpuff's castle will look like. It's very simple, very basic. Has a little doorbell and the doors and her head above the door. There's a little statue, kind of, and the bricks are pink. Anyway, shall we go inside? Princess Powderpuff asked. Yeah, was all Billy could say as he looked up at the structure that towered over him. For Billy, the castle was almost hard to look at because it was wall-to-wall pink, inside and out. Billy was still taken aback by Princess Powderpuff, but if he'd been thinking clearly, he would have most definitely said, wow, and I thought the flower garden was bad. The whole inside of the castle was made entirely of light pink marble, with pillars colored of old rose. The whole floor was covered in ultra-pink carpet that was stunningly clean without a speck of fur to be seen. There was a ramp leading up to Princess Powderpuff's throne, which was a large pink silk pillow with golden tassels that must have felt as soft as a cloud. Behind her throne was an enormous stained glass window, which, of course, was also pink, and adorned with a design of cross-hatched diamonds and hearts. What Billy found most peculiar, though, were the dozens of tiny pink, purple, and blue frogs that were floating through the air. And this is Princess Powderpuff on her pink pillow throne. That's actually the very first drawing I ever made of her. Those are my servants, Princess Powderpuff said, as if reading Billy's mind. Don't you have cat servants? Billy asked. Of course I do, but my frogs are more helpful in some ways. For one thing, they're faster, and they can fly. I'm the only cat in my kingdom that can fly, and I can't be expected to do everything myself. Servants are required when you are royalty, even if you don't want them. You can fly? Billy asked, amazed. Oh yes, Princess Powderpuff said. I don't show my wings very often, though. I keep them tucked away only for when they are absolutely necessary. Are they? Billy started, not quite knowing what to say. They just sort of appear, Princess Powderpuff answered, as if reading his thoughts again. Now, on to business. Why don't you have a seat? Business? Billy asked, seating himself and starting to come down to earth about what was happening. What business? The business I brought you here for. You said you would help me save my kingdom, Princess Powderpuff said. I don't know what you're talking about, but I can't help you, Billy said. I have no idea what I'm doing here in the first place. That's why I'm here to tell you, Princess Powderpuff said. Courtney, could you come here, please? What is it, Your Highness? One of the pink frogs said, flying over to her. Courtney, would you go fetch the ancient scrolls for me? Princess Powderpuff asked the frog. Sure thing, Your Highness, but it could take me a while to find it. It could be buried in the castle archives, Courtney answered, and she flew off like lightning out of the room. She's my newest intern here. Lovely girl, Princess Powderpuff said. Princess, this place is... Billy started. For the first time in his life, he did not want to offend anyone, but he wanted to say what was on his mind. This place is not my style. I feel like I don't really belong here. Please, just call me Powderpuff, Princess Powderpuff said. That being said, you're not alone. So many cats in the world feel like they're in a place they don't want to be, and yet they stay where they are because they have nowhere else to go. Maybe somewhere deep inside you do like this place, but you just don't know it yet. I don't find that comforting. I have a home, you know, and this isn't it, Billy said. I know, but you're needed here right now, Princess Powderpuff answered. Speaking of which, here comes Courtney. Courtney came back into the room carrying a worn yellow scroll of paper. Your Highness, I have found the scroll. It's a miracle that it was right on top in the old files, she said, unrolling it. Shall I read it? And here we have another illustration. One of my very first. Another one that was done on Paint 3D, not my Wacom. Way back in the day. Plan on revising that one too. Yes, you may read it, but allow me to explain a few things to Billy first, Princess Powderpuff answered, turning to Billy. You are here because it had been foretold by an ancient prophecy that you are to defeat the darkness that has been desecrating my world for generations. Miles away from here, there is another castle where an evil dark lord named Wyatt lives. He rules his property with a lust for power, and he and his black cat Willie will do everything they can to take over the rest of my kingdom and destroy all the beauty within it. I've been to his castle multiple times in my bat form and have gone unnoticed while spying on him, so I know of his plans, but there is nothing I can do to stop him. He wants to trap all the rainbows in Catland in his giant machine, which he calls the Perminator, and turn it into one gigantic power source. What he doesn't know, or knows but doesn't care about, is that once he has all of the rainbows, Catland will start to crumble beneath him. Not only will it turn into a dark, desolate wasteland, just like the area surrounding his castle in the dark forest, but the ground will shake until there is nothing left to stand on. There's a chance that both of our castles may be swallowed up in the earth in the process. That sounds terrifying, Billy said. It is a troubling thought, but that's why you're here, to stop him, Princess Powderpuff said. Wait, what? Billy asked, shocked. Me? You expect me to stop an evil overlord who wants to destroy your kingdom? Doesn't he have an army or something? If you can't defeat him, how do you expect me to do it? Because you're the cat in the ancient texts, Princess Powderpuff said. You may read it now, Courtney. Courtney, who had temporarily spaced out, nodded at Princess Powderpuff's command and hurriedly unrolled the scrolls, cleared her throat, and began to read. It is written, when Catland is in its darkest hour, and all hope seems lost, when the difference between earth and sky are undefinable, a cat of orange shall walk into our midst and save us all from imminent death and destruction. There's no way that ancient text can be talking about me, Billy said. You must have more proof than that. Yes, as a matter of fact, I do. Courtney, retrieve the book, Princess Powderpuff said. Courtney flew into another room again and came back promptly with a large book that she was struggling to carry. The Book of Catland's Future, written hundreds of years ago by King Wonderstruck and his daughter, Princess Marissa, two cats who were set to rule Catland a long, long time ago, before they mysteriously disappeared, Princess Powderpuff said, taking the book from Courtney. Courtney took a deep breath and was quite relieved to let go of the book. Here, take a look. Billy went over to the book and gazed at the page Princess Powderpuff had turned to. On the paper was a picture, or rather a painting, of a cat that looked exactly like him. He was sleeping lazily in an outdoor setting that resembled Meredith's backyard. Is that you? Princess Powderpuff asked. I really don't know, Billy answered. It looks like me, but I'm sure that there are 100 other tabby cats in the world with a similar likeness to my appearance. You still can't prove that's me in the picture. Why don't you read the text beneath it? Princess Powderpuff said. Billy's eyes drifted to what was written with a calligraphy pen in fine cursive beneath his picture. It was one word, but the word shook him up inside and made him begin to doubt. The word was Billy, his name. Okay, so it is me, Billy admitted. But you know, there could be other cats named Billy. It's you, Princess Powderpuff cut in. There's no question about it. I'm not forcing you to go on this mission immediately, let alone at all. However, I must warn you that if you can't do this, you will have the lives of an entire kingdom of cats on your conscience. Fine, I'll go. I'll do whatever you say, Billy said with a yawn, obviously not amused. He was getting tired at this point. But first, do you have anything to eat? Yes, I'll have Courtney lead you to your room and get you some dinner. Courtney, you know what to do, Princess Powderpuff said. Right away, Your Highness, Courtney said. Come on, Billy. You're going to like your room. Billy followed Courtney into a large pink room that had a fluffy, pink, full-size queen bed that was loaded with plush pillows. I'll have a platter of milk and tuna in here in just a few minutes, Courtney said. I hope you enjoy your stay at the castle. Oh, I will, Billy answered. He was already beginning to like the sound and look of how he was going to be living. Courtney came back, as she promised, with a saucer of milk and not just a can of wet food, but a whole tuna steak, cooked and seasoned with garlic, salt, and pepper. Billy's mouth watered, thinking of all the times Meredith had cooked this meal for herself, but never let him eat any of it. She rolled it in on a cart with 2 other floating frogs and placed it next to his bed. Thanks, Billy said. You can go now. As you wish, Courtney said. Come on, guys. The princess needs to be attended to as well. Courtney closed the doors, and Billy was alone. Billy went over to his dinner and consumed the whole thing within a matter of minutes, because he had been starving. He laid down on the bed and turned around 3 times like a dog, a habit he had learned from Bones. He created a depression that he could rest in so that it was like his cat bed at home, and then fell asleep. And that is the first chapter of my book, The Adventures of Billy the Tabby Cat. And that is the lore behind the characters and my illustrations and all the art that I share on my channel. And I would like to read you the rest so very much, but I don't want to give too much away. But that's about it. That's all I wanted to share with you guys today, just so you got the general idea of who Billy is and his story. And hopefully someday, maybe later this year or possibly next year, I will get the book published and you can get it on Amazon. And that will be just the coolest thing ever. And I know I don't have that many followers right now, so I was gonna do things where you could make an art request and I would draw something, but I don't think I'll be doing that this live stream. That's basically all I wanted to do for this live stream. And if I do a live stream again, I will be creating art because I will have the live stream on my other computer and I can make art on my tablet. And if I do a 3rd live stream, or maybe vice versa, I also have a book that I wrote full of writing tips for my thought process for how I write stories, and basically the whole process of writing books, and just little tips and stuff, like how to create your villain, and character arcs, and what the prologue and stuff like that is in a book, and epilogue. Just describing a bunch of different things if you're a beginner to writing, or if you're not a beginner. I don't know, I just wanted to share that with you. But anyway, that has been my first live stream, and my channel is currently at 19,053 subscribers. And that's crazy, because I promised a live stream at 8,000 subscribers, and then I just had a massive subscriber jump in a week from posting a bunch of the Amazing Digital Circus clips from episode 9. But I now have the members only access thing where you can buy stickers on my channel. Or I don't have it yet, but I have reached 3 million views in 90 days. So once YouTube verifies those views, I should be able to get that. And that's going to be really, really cool. And of course, I don't expect to make that much money on it, or maybe nothing at all. But if any of you are willing to buy stickers with the whole super chat thing or whatever, because I haven't done a ton of research on that yet, but I have been looking over it somewhat. I hope everybody enjoys that perk that will become available soon, hopefully. And I'm looking forward to giving you lots of new content and animations in the future. And I also want to give you a sneak peek of my next upcoming animation. One last sneak peek, since I'm almost at 20,000 subscribers. Let's see. I'm not going to show you the animation, the whole animation. I'm just going to show you a clip, or a screenshot of it. Here we go. This animation is hopefully going to be released on August 22nd of this year. This is Billy the Tabby Cat, and he is singing the song Everything Sucks by Vault Boy. And I have been working on it for at least a couple months now, and I am currently at almost 500 frames of animation, so that's 500 individual drawings for about, let's see, 45 seconds of animation. So yeah, that takes a lot of time. So yeah, that's about it. Hope you all enjoyed, and I hope lots of you guys watch after the stream is over, and thank you for those who attended. See you all soon. Bye.